you better, this call may be recorded for training and quality purposes.
Thank you for calling our parts department. Please hold for the next available customer service representative. How may I help you?
I'd like to see if a rear bearing kit is available for this Samsung dryer. Model number is Delta Victor 22 Kilo 6800 Echo Whiskey / Alpha 1.
Yeah, because I'm seeing the whole drum, but I'm not seeing... parts to it.
Hopefully they're not offering it as a drum attachment for the elbow, and then maybe the bearing itself, sleeve, is separate.
Yeah, that's just the whole drum. Nothing separate.
Wow.
At all.
So you have to get the entire drum?
So I'm not seeing anything other than, just the tub, the drum itself, and the baffles inside of it. I'm not seeing anything else.
Okay.
Alrighty.
All right. Well, I do thank you.
And the part number is David Charlie 97-15551 V like boy. E1 retails $262.86.
Okay, that's the drum complete.
Okay. Yes.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye-bye. This is Ron.
Hi, this is James J.R. Repair. I was just calling to let you know I just spoke with my parts department, and she was only able to give me information in regards to the rear bearing assembly. They only offer it as a drum complete. You have to buy the entire drum in order.
No.
Yes, that's what she's saying. I'm gonna, as soon as this voice recording downloads, I'm gonna send you the recording of the conversation, and so it gives me the impression that this is a design issue with Samsung. And even if you were to disassemble the dryer and lubricate the bearing, lubrication would be a temporary issue because that lubrication will dry and then it will begin the same process of the noise again. And so the permanent fix is to replace the components. And these components, based off of her access to Samsung's diagram, they're only showing it as a drum complete assembly, which is the drum complete assembly. The part is $200, $200 plus. And it doesn't give the information for the actual mount itself. And so completely disassembling to see the components, with not having true access to the parts, it's still going to put me in a situation where getting access to the part may be difficult. That's what the direction that this is giving me. And so I'm going to send you the conversation that was had in regards to
No, it's okay. I believe you. You mean I got to throw this thing away?
I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping that Samsung will be honorable. If contacting the manufacturer, let them know the process that you've begun to having this bearing issue resolved, and accessing to parts are becoming difficult and not direct, and it's not giving a clear indication of getting the parts that you need. And hopefully that they should be able to know this and be able to give you a clear answer as far as what they can do for the repair. But as far as locally, Standard TV and Appliance is who I would have to recommend to take this repair on because of the parts availability in which we're seeing. and they would have access to Samsung better than what any company would have outside of Sears. I think Sears is a skeleton crew still available here, so that's also a option to contact Sears.
So you can get the parts or standard appliance kit. You can't, or
well, based off of parts accessibility and identifying the part, it's not clear. Generally, when you ask for a rear bearing kit, you get a rear bearing kit. When she went searching for the rear bearing assembly, only way to get the elbow on which mounts the drum in the rear, she was only able to access that part by having to purchase the entire drum, and that should not be the case. And the drum is a $200 part when you only need the actual elbow that mounts off the rear of the drum. And so that's the dilemma. And so it's not given a clear indication of getting the rear bearing assembly, rear bearing mount and an elbow, and all you're getting right now is just the elbow.
Is this the only place you can get parts?
Well, Reliable is all of our number one distributor in the Northwest.
Yeah.
So we all get our parts from Reliable, even Standard TV and Appliance, and so Sears. And so they're the number one outfit. What I could recommend is actually call the number that I provide you with. It's the same company. It's just and see if they can, and then you'll see what parts that they are only offering for that model. I mean, you have to go as far as giving the serial number also. Usually, you just give a model number, and then you can pull up the print with just the model number for all the parts that are available for that model number. But in this case, you have to give the serial number also, and so that's what gave me a red flag that this is a design issue.
So what you're saying is, I got to be in $500, $600. I'm better off to throw it away and buy a new one of a different brand.
Yes, I really don't want to say that, but yes, because I know that was not a cheap unit. That's a high-end economy size dryer, and stack. That's the reason why they make it for economy, small space, single dweller, studio apartment. Those are not cheap units, and so they rank up there with the non-venting units, and so those start off at $1,200, if not higher, and so.
That dryer was $800. I got a year and a half out of it. You're saying I got to spend another $300 or $400 for you and $200 for the parts?
Well, at this point, I wouldn't even want to take on the repair because it doesn't sound like I can get the actual parts that I need. Taking it apart to resolve the high pitch would be lubrication, and that. Adding lubrication to a bearing assembly, that's not a repair. That's a temporary.
No.
That's a temporary issue. That's a temporary fix. And so I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to put you in a position to where you'll have to deal with this problem again within 6 months. And then if we can get to the conclusion, which I'm upset about the product because it shouldn't be given. You shouldn't be having this problem within a year and a half. And so I am directing in a direction of wanting to fight Samsung and direct you to calling them and letting them know that it's a year and a half. Parts are not shown as being available for the rear bearing, and they know that and just tell them that it is making noise, and parts are not easily accessible. And so, what can they do about it? It's a year and a half. It's a year and a half unit, and the company that can fight with you on behalf of your local area would be Standard TV and Appliance, or contacting directly, which there are still skeleton outfits here and there, contacting Sears, and then it may be a little bit of a drawn out process, but the results would be more favorable of not having to replace that. It's only a year and a half, unless they want to give you and Home Depot's already bellying up on you, which I don't like that. And so they're just putting us in a bad situation. They're bellying up because it's out of warranty, but it's only out of warranty for less than 6 months. That's a gray area right there. And so they don't have no responsibility of that name brand outside of sale. As far as the product itself, Sears would be a better fit because I know the process of Sears, but it's going to be a little bit of a drawn out situation. The noise will be there, but it is operating. But the noise will be there until it's resolved. That's the only thing. Standard TV and Appliance or Sears would be the best company because this is a design issue.
Okay, so I'm out $90 for you to come out and look at it, look for parts. Then I'm still back to square one to go back to Sears and pay them to come out and look at it and tell me they can't get parts. How do I resolve this? Other than just throwing it in the bay.
Well, I'm going to give you back your $90, and the decision of replacement and those are my suggestions of who can come out the quickest, and the best thing is that the information is out there now. You're not in the dark of what's going on with it as far as parts, and so then let them deal with the correction, because they should know immediately what they should know it. Whoever it may be, Standard or Sears, they should know immediately what to do. It should be no question. Okay. It should be as clear as day. Once they hear a year and a half and it is non-operational and it's a drive system complaint, immediately they should know what to do.
Okay.
And so I can either bring you your check back to you, or I can shred your check up for you. Your choice.
Just shred it's fine. I trust you for it. But
okay.
I'm happy with Samsung. I'll call Standard TV and Appliances and see what they say then. Okay. We'll go from there.
Okay.
And see if we can resolve it. Like I say, it runs, but Jesus, once in a while it just squeaks so loud. It's crazy.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thanks for all the help and everything. I appreciate it, and we'll give you a call. Maybe we can do business in the future. Okay?
I'm hoping that maybe. See, my dilemma is I like to resolve everything, and hopefully if they take it apart, maybe there's just something stuck in between the front bearing, and it's causing that. But based off of what you're saying, it's definitely in the direction of a rear bearing. But based off of these parts,
you can push the drum back and forth and hear it.
Okay.
I mean, it kind of grates and everything. So I think I'm almost positive it's a bearing. I'd be stunned if it wasn't.
Excellent. All right.
So
okay.
I'll call Standard. Appreciate your help on all this, and we'll recommend you in the future. Okay?
Yes, sir. But generally, overall, most of these products that are being made and distributed through your local distributors such as Lowe's, Home Depot, and Best Buy, they're generally in good condition, meaning that the components are made out of good quality components and they're expected to have a usage out of the unit for a minimum of 5 to 10 years. But occasionally you will get a design, a prototype design that is in the market to satisfy a specific need, and those are the ones that you would have some problems with. And like I said, it's more or less your small space savers that would have those type of unforeseen problems. But overall, generally, most of these are problem free for a minimum of 5 to 6 to 10 years. but your manufacturer would be whom you would want to start resolving any complaints that may be unseen or unknown after purchase.